war on Caernarvon Crescent.
The old crane was released after being charged with assault, cruelty to animals and criminal damage. The police, in their infinite wisdom, tried to urge my nephew and myself to drop the charges, but no, neither of us wanted to. Dave refused to because he thought he might make a bit of money from it. For me, though, it wasn't about money. It was about the principle. The old hag needed to learn a lesson the hard way. I wanted to drag her to the courts. I wanted her name in the newspapers, and I wanted to make a massive cunt out of her. Over the next few days, when Agamemnon went out in the yard to do things that dogs do, such as taking a dump, cocking his leg, hump the cushion in the deck chair, the list would go on. Every time he went out there, he would look towards the old hag's house and give off the dirtiest growl and start barking loud. It was on one occasion that I let Agamemnon outside. I took her a cigarette outside with me and lit it. I observed Agamemnon go to a specific point, turn around and start his new routine of growling and barking. I walked over to Agamemnon and looked at the direction he was looking at. Agamemnon was looking directly at the crone's back door, and every time she would approach the door from inside, he would start growling and barking. I patted Agamemnon on the head. "Good boy," I said. "You do whatever you want to that mean old hag." As soon as the wench moved away from the door, Agamemnon moved from his spot. I decided to stay at the back of the garden and sit on my deck chair and continue to smoke. I pulled up my phone and began to do a bit of digital dossing around. Checking my emails became checking Facebook, which then became viewing YouTube, which led to another cigarette. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I looked up and saw the vile crone look at me through her back room window. She then went to walk to her back door, and like clockwork, Agamemnon darted out to his spot and started up his growling and barking once more. I began to laugh. It was loud enough Ellie heard me from the house. She told me this later on. So I'm assuming that the wench had heard my laughter as well. I guessed this might be the case as her back door flung open and she stepped outside. I guess she had taken some brave pills in the form of hatred towards me, and to approach the fence to try and give me an ear bashing over her arrest. Agamemnon left his position and darted to the fence, doing that sick growl, bark, hiss and snarl mixture that dogs do when they see another dog on TV. He was jumping up at the fence, and the old hag kept back at what she thought was a safe distance. "Your dog is stopping me from coming outside," hissed the old hunchback over the sound of Agamemnon's barking. "Well, you're outside now," I replied. "If you don't control your dog, I'll phone the police," she snapped. Agamemnon was still going nuts at the fence. My phone was still in my hand, the screen was still unlocked, and without a second thought I loaded up the camera app, turned it to video mode and began to record. "Well, what was that?" I said. I couldn't quite hear over the sound of the dog telling you what he thinks about you after pelting with an egg. The old crone didn't realise I was recording it all. "Well, I wasn't aiming at your dog," spat the crone. "I was aiming for you and Ellie." "Where are you now?" I said. "I could understand you aiming for me, but you're aiming for Ellie too. You do know she was holding our baby," the crone cut in. "And?" I cut back over the hag. "So you would have had assaulted a baby. You're not doing yourself any favours," I continued to say. "Well, it's a good thing that you missed, because I think they would have locked you up and thrown away the key for assaulting a baby. And believe me, if Aurora got hit, you would still be down that police station. Well, you'll probably end up there again soon enough, because I'm going to submit this video to my solicitor to use in your trial, because it will be going to trial." "What video?" snapped the old crone. "The video that's recording on my phone right now," I said with the dirtiest grin. "Oh, by the way, Agamemnon hates you for egging him. I mean, I hate you, but he really, really hates you. I don't know how you're going to make peace with him." "Why would I want to make peace with him?" snapped the old bag. I smiled, an icy smile, a real icy smile, because he isn't fully grown, and look at how high he's jumping up at that fence. It wouldn't surprise me if he could jump that fence within a few more months. "Is that a threat?" snapped the crone. "Nope, that's not a threat," I said. "That's merely a fact and an observation. You attacked him, and dogs don't forget, especially guard dogs like Agamemnon." "I'm calling the police and telling them that you've lost control over your dangerous dog and they'll put him down," spat the old hag. I whistled aloud. Agamemnon stopped what he was doing and stood to attention. "Agamemnon, sit." Agamemnon complied. "Agamemnon, attention." Agamemnon stood to attention. "Agamemnon, inside." Agamemnon darted into this house. See? You can tell the police any lie you want about the dog. I'll show them the proof of this video, and I may add it's still recording, by the way. The old crone quivered on the spot, tutted and retreated into her house. With an almighty slam, the door shut. I stopped recording. I opened up my Amazon app and began to look for small outside wireless video cameras. I could tell that she was going to start doing things, so I had to be ready. It was 2 days after I ordered my surveillance equipment. I ordered 4 Wi-Fi enabled cameras, a new Wi-Fi unit, and 5 small solar panels and a waterproof black box in which to protect the Wi-Fi unit. Each solar panel was no bigger than a phone and was connected to a battery, which was in turn connected to a knockoff version of a GoPro. It didn't take me long to network the outside router to the main Wi-Fi unit in the house. I strategically placed the camera within the existing foliage and secured it in place with cable ties. The solar panels were positioned to absorb the maximum amounts of daylight possible, and once again secured with cable ties. All the cameras were connected to my old laptop that was just sat collecting dust. Once I formatted the hard drive and did a fresh install of Windows, the surveillance unit was up and running. To save hard drive space, I set the cameras into sentry mode. This meant that they'd be on sleep mode and wake up and record when they pick up motion. All this was done under the cover of darkness, as I didn't want the old crone to know what I was up to. I even programmed the cameras to automatically switch to night vision mode, so I could cover all bases, as there would be no point in having cameras if the old wench attempted to do anything at night time. But now I was ready. My garden was now under 24-hour surveillance, so if the crone did anything untoward, I'd have her faster than a bat out of hell.
Thank you for listening to the War of Caernarvon Crescent. If you've enjoyed this production from SFX Media, why not check out more content by clicking the link in the description below. Until next time, soldier.